to be. Limitless, I am forever energy. Boundless, I am what I'm supposed to be. Only the universe knows why the tribulations. A troubled mind will always manifest the hatred, presenting negative vibes through every situation. At every moment, we chase false reputations. And so I learned my actions speak louder. At one time, I used to believe it made me prouder. But something occurred, became a man of my word, and realized I manifest all the dialect I serve. Simply put, every day I had a revelation, telling myself that this life is what you make it. I tell a tale of the many times I failed, knowing that my ship to success already sailed. You live and you learn, tables turn and bridges burn. One thing I do know now, respect is earned. Savor these thoughts like a dead man's last meal. You are forever energy, and that's real. Yeah, that's real. Vibe with me. Just vibe with me, yeah. Vibe with me. Just vibe with me, Limitless, I am forever energy. Boundless, I am what I'm supposed to be. Limitless, I am forever energy. Boundless, I am what I'm supposed to be. I must keep steady faith that this too shall pass. Elevated, no more looking in the past. This life is ours for the taking, so I must be needy. I mean sincerity and never ever to be greedy. The knowledge that I speak comes from the Most High. If the sky's the limit, then I would rather fly. What I'm saying is you gotta think deep. Unlearn what this world has taught you, don't be a sheep. Instead, be profound in every conversation. Don't be afraid to spread your truth on occasion. My mindset is that you grow, even if it's slow. Mentally, you must go with the flow. There is no need to be afraid of death and what proceeds. The soul is eternal, and that's what I believe. Savor these thoughts like a dead man's last meal. You are forever energy, and that's real. And that's real. Vibe with me. Vibe with me, yeah. Vibe with me. Vibe with me, yeah. Limitless, I am forever energy. Boundless, I am what I'm supposed to be. Limitless, I am forever energy. Boundless, I am what I'm supposed to be. Verse 3. Let's get it. I'm making history, one day at a time, even if that means I'm stepping out of line. The greatest characters and stories always suffer. I see now is my moment, no waiting on the buffer. I'm a man of my word, follow my own advice. If you ain't been in my position, you can take a hike. I'm ignorant, yes, incompetent, no. I'm always blessed, I'm steady in the know. Confía en mi Dios, that's why I'm known as good. With 3 O's to the face, born in the hood. I'm destined for greatness, striving to cure hatred and spread vibes on this earth, believing I'll make it. Believing I'll make it, and spread vibes on this earth, believing I'll make it. Yeah, believing I'll make it, and spread vibes on this earth. Steezomatic. Limitless, I am forever energy. Boundless, I am what I'm supposed to be. Limitless, I am forever energy. Boundless, I am what I'm supposed to be. You are limitless. You can do anything you dream of. See, I made this song incarcerated. While I was down, I was free. I call it
like way worse.
Yeah, that was Limitless by Goodface, motherfuckers.
That was chill as hell.
Hella
that
chill.
was chill as fuck. But we're talking about right now that Miles was actually in a band before Paper Space during high school. It's called Bob Tweedy.
Oh god.
What?
Okay, so it was a folk rock band called the Bob Tweedy Band. It was Kurt was in it too. He played guitar.
What?
Yeah, and it was me and Kurt, my old friend Kyle Petty, who I still see every now and then. He still makes music under Von Glon.
Mm-hmm.
And our old friend Charles, who played drums. and we were a terrible folk rock band. We were aping
Trash
off
folk.
It was like 2013, so we were aping off of every single like indie rock band that was out in the scene in Modesto.
Y'all
at the
were pretty
time.
much Wilco.
I mean, like, we had a song that was
awesome.
literally just a Wilco song that Kyle put different lyrics over.
Yeah,
And
dude. We were listening to
yeah.
Wilco and we were tripping out by like how much like the song sounded like Wilco songs.
Yeah,
We're like,
and
"Holy
but I
shit."
mean, but the thing is, it's like Wilco's good. This
Yeah,
was
yeah,
not
no, I
good
did Wilco.
music.
Yeah.
This was not good music, and we only played 3 shows, and we were a band for like 6 months, maybe.
I played one show with you guys.
Yeah, Max played
Oh, really?
keyboard for like
Yeah.
a second
Yeah.
in that band. And we put out like an 8-song little mini album thing, and it was terrible. It was the worst thing in the world. I can't find it anywhere now.
We have,
mean,
like,
CDs
there's
still
copies.
exist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's-
physical CDs
there's
still
CDs of
exist,
it?
But
Fuck yeah.
yeah, that was the band I was in before Paper Space, and then
That's
I
so
was in
punk.
like bands that never did anything too, in like high school. I
Mm-hmm.
screamed for a metalcore band when I was
I
like
knew
14.
you had some screaming experience.
Yeah.
I knew there was some experience there.
It's there for sure.
Miles has been shouting for a lot of
I've been
years.
yelling for a very long time. Yeah,
I hear it.
Fuck yeah.
I hear it all the time.
Yeah.
Dude, like,
Go ahead, man.
fucking, I don't have very much experience being in other bands. Like, I played keyboards for Bob Tweedy Band, but before that, I feel comfortable talking about this now because,
Oh, no.
like, no one really ever references it because it doesn't
no.
exist. But the whole reason I started playing guitar in the first place was, so I guess I should start with this. Have you ever heard of the band Steam Powered Giraffe?
Yeah.
Okay, well, for
I
those
fucking love those, dude. They're so crazy.
For those of you who don't know what Steam Powered Giraffe is, it's fronted by 3 people. I don't know, there might be more now, but who pretend to be automatons, which are like robots powered by gears and shit. It's like steampunk shit.
And in the back lore of their band, they started at like the 1903 World Fair or some shit. That's
Yeah,
like their
like-
first performance.
Like there's a lot of lore to their band, and like supposedly they act as robots who have been around since like the 1800s or something like that. And me and 2 other friends got super into it and wanted to do like our own sort of thing. And
Fuck
like,
yeah,
we
punk as fuck.
we got like
They're punk as fuck.
we got costumes together and everything, and like the only problem was like the friend of mine that was playing guitar was just a piece of shit, and like he. It's hard because he's one of those people that you just feel bad for, just because. I don't really know how to describe it. It's just like
The circumstances that like brought him to be the way that he is seem like, you know, something you'd feel bad for.
You
that.
feel-
There we go.
yeah,
There we
bad
go.
for him
Okay.
because
I
of,
couldn't have
the
said that better.
circumstances of his life, but it's like he was also just a shitty guy.
But
and,
you know,
yeah,
we would try to get together and like learn songs and stuff, and he would just like act like he wasn't down, and then like later be like, oh, when are we getting together to work on stuff? And it's like he wasn't the kind of person that like you'd really even want to be in a band with, and I found that
Yeah.
out, and I was like, dude, I'm tired of wanting to do music and having to depend on other people playing the instruments. So I'm just going to learn how to play guitar, and I ended up doing that, and instead of doing the robot thing, I was like, I'll just write real songs. so like, you know, I kind of like, I was into them, and I fell out of it super hard when I actually started like trying to learn how to play guitar and stuff like that. So like, I have no shame. It doesn't exist. No one can find anything about it.
Good.
Like,
The beast was destroyed.
Yeah, some of the stuff it was on the internet for a while, and like I gotta thank the friend that like we ended up like cutting ties with, because he messaged me one day and he's like, hey, the Facebook page for that thing is still up. And I'm like, oh shit, I had to go and
Get that
delete it.
shit
really
gone.
fast. Like,
That's funny.
that's like the only like group I had ever tried to form before Paper Space, but the time in between that was just like me writing little songs in my bedroom and stuff.
I should say, fucking Steam Powered Draft, dude. One time when I was like 17 or 18, I fucking took acid by myself
Oh.
for some reason. I was fucking bored
not
as
a
shit.
good idea.
I was bored as shit. And I listened to, like, right during the come up, I was listening to Honeybee by them.
Yeah.
Which, if you haven't heard, is one of the most tender, like... It's not sad, because
I'm not super all about them personally, but I do love that song.
That song is like...
It's a good song.
It makes you weep, dude.
I will say, like, nowadays I think their shtick is kind of dumb.
It is.
But, like...
yeah.
But, like...
It's pretty gimmicky.
That song, like, it was cool when they were street performers, because that's what they did. They performed on the street. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, if I saw that, I'd sit there and watch that forever. That's cool.
You can tell there's a lot of fucking talent behind that.
Yeah, and, like, their harmonies are so luscious, like they're really good, but I just kind of fell out of their like gimmicky, like it's a very like middle school, high school thing to get into, and then you fall out of it, and it's
when
like
you go through your steampunk phase.
Yeah,
like,
you know,
when you're in drama class.
Get real with this shit.
I was never
so fucking
your friend who's wearing a Nightmare Before Christmas shirt.
The fucking like, steampunk goggles.
I was never in drama, but I had a lot of friends that were in drama, and that's how I found out about them.
I did drama all 4 years, and that's
awesome.
fucking accurate.
I envy
as
that.
shit.
I wish I had been able
that's
to do
so
drama.
accurate what you just said.
I went to a continuation school, so I didn't get to do drama.
You know, but fucking man.
We should. Sorry, real quick. We should get to these fucking questions.
Absolutely,
that's a good idea.
People asked a shit ton of questions.
Yeah, there's a few, I think. Right?
But we had to bring up psychedelics at one point. I took that fucking acid and just weeped my eyes out at that fucking song.
It's a good song. Definitely.
It's a good one. I like it.
So, first question. We were just talking about this a second ago. What faction do you choose in Fallout New Vegas?
Okay.
Whichever one is the gayest.
The Brotherhood of Steel, probably. Okay. That's pretty gay.
They suck in that one. The faction I usually choose, damn.
The gayest.
Damn, dude.
That's brutal.
I kind of just do my own thing in New Vegas.
Independent Vegas?
Like, I've... Up until recently, I was like, damn, there actually is factions in New Vegas, but, like, I always just kind of did my own thing. Like, I tried to get as powerful as possible and as rich as possible. And what I would end up doing was, I would get the... because there's that war at the end of the game, pretty much. I would get the two, like, pretty much all the factions as close to there as I possibly could, and then I just wipe them all out. Like, I'm the leader of everything. Like,
you're the new Mr. House, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, like, I'd kill Mr. House, I'd get rid of fucking Caesar or Kaiser, however you pronounce it in that game. I hear it both ways.
I say Caesar because calling it Kaiser is fucking stupid.
It's Caesar. It's Caesar. Like,
His name is Caesar.
I don't know why his own troops say Kaiser.
Oh, true to Kaiser. I just want to be like, shut the fuck up.
It's Caesar,
dude.
dude. Like, everyone else is like, fuck you, it's Caesar.
I usually go with... Or, when I first started playing, I was a big NCR guy, because it just kind of seemed like the most logical choice.
Yeah.
And now I usually do what you do, which is just like... I use the factions to get where I need to go,
that's
and then I fuck them over. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
But, Austin asks, what was your first musical group, artist project you got into as a kid? And I think he means like probably like one of the first bands that made you kind of listen to
music and stuff. Oh damn.
Yeah, you can answer that because mine's kind of weird.
That's a little weird too.
We'll all answer it.
I kind of so I don't remember because I've been listening because like both of my parents are big music lovers and like I grew up listening to a lot of the music that they were into, and so like I grew up listening to on my dad's side like Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin,
the essentials,
104.1 The Hawk, you know, and then on my mom's end it was a lot of like 80s stuff, but then also like Third Eye Blind and Counting Crows, Pearl Jam.
Yeah,
and so I think like that's kind of where it first started for me, like the mix of both of those. But I think the first band that I ever actually got into on my own without anyone's help was either Linkin Park or System of a Down.
Tight.
And
fuck yeah.
I think like, and they kind of really, both of those bands really kind of shape the way that I see, or I guess perceive music and stuff. I don't know, in some way.
You eventually have to be on some System.
Yeah, and then it became My Chemical Romance, and then I discovered fake emo, and that's kind of
hot topic emo.
Yeah, that's kind of where that all spun out. What's yours? Because I don't know if we've talked about this.
My answer starts out pretty much the same as Miles's. Like I listen to a lot of my parents' stuff, like pretty much just like what's on the classic rock radio stations and Guitar Hero.
Yeah.
And like
Guitar Hero was big for me too.
no, like Miles and I both liked Linkin Park, System of a Down, and then there was this split where we just like our musical tastes just
typical sibling
completely.
not just our musical taste, but like I don't think we said a word to each other for like 3 years.
You have to. You have
we
to
lived
go
under
that
the same
phase.
house.
Our tastes and everything just split like randomly. Like Miles was always super into music, but I loved video games more than everything, and like it makes me kind of cringe to say this now, but there was a legit point in my life where I was like, what's the point of music? And thinking about that now is like, well, that's silly.
Yeah, thinking about it now is like in a band is like,
yeah,
what?
yeah. Well,
Like,
that's silly that I ever thought that at one point. But like, no, I was into like a lot of classic rock bands and stuff like that. But the first band that I really, really got into and listened to extensively was the Mountain Goats.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, yep.
We found out, me and Miles both found out about the Mountain Goats through this show called Moral Oral. And there's an episode, like, that show's fucking... It's
a cartoon. It's not a cartoon. Adult Swim show.
It looks like
It's
Robot
claymation.
Chicken.
Yeah, it's claymation, but it's about like this kid growing up in like a super Christian household, but he's also super Christian, and like the doctrine of the church and stuff kind of getting in his head, and he's like super misunderstood about stuff.
And
it's super. It starts out super like childish, like this little kid's getting into all these shenanigans.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and they're super fucked up situations because it's Adult Swim.
And he's always trying to do the right thing.
And then the
but
third season just gets real as fuck. And I don't want to spoil anything, but the first episode
I kinda
of
wanna
season...
watch it now.
Yeah,
You
should.
there's only
You
3
should.
seasons. First episode of season 3, No Children by the Mountain Goats plays.
Yeah.
That's... And we both kind of found out about him and then fell in love.
It was
with
funny,
all of
though,
their
because
music.
we heard that song and we thought it was just something that the people that made the show just threw together.
Yeah,
because
with
for
the
that
soundtrack.
scene.
You know No
Because
Children, right?
there's that part-
Yeah, so
there's
it's a really
simple song.
silly kind of
Yeah.
song.
Well, there's
like, when
that
you think
part,
about it, but-
and it's really, like, super, like, overly depressing.
I
And that's
hope
why
I-
I thought... And the part where he's like, I hope I cut myself shaving tomorrow, like, we both laughed at that.
Yeah.
We laughed at that, like, super hard when we first heard it, but then we looked it up and we're like, oh shit, these
This
guys
is
are
real. Like,
and-
this is a real thing.
and this is really good. Like,
Yeah.
they were the first band that I, like, would listen to entire albums of and stuff like that, and I can't say I've liked another band more than I've liked the Mountain Goats.
Yeah, if we're talking
They're-
about like bands that are like absolutely essential favorite bands, then like Coheed and Cambria for me.
Yeah.
like
Like-
my favorite band, 100%.
Mountain Goats is like primary.
And then Mountain Goats is second to me.
Yeah, Mountain Goats is primary. Like never liked a band more than them to me. Let's see. I also pretty recently got super into Neutral Milk Hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've listened to pretty much everything they've ever put out, which isn't very much, but there's a lot of underground stuff that you have to kind of like dig for to listen to.
Yeah.
Because
Are you guys big vinyl dudes? Or
I like
I
vinyl.
was for a little while.
I've heard
sure.
that there's like tracks by them that you can only hear on the vinyl. Like you
Yeah,
can only,
yeah,
yeah.
or like
that,
some
yeah.
deep corner of the internet.
Yeah.
Like a lot of it's on YouTube, but there's also a lot that's just not, and you have to dig for it. But the frontman Jeff Mangum, I'm convinced he's never written a bad song. Honestly, I've loved everything that I've ever heard from him and Neutral Milk Hotel, and their whole collective is actually like really talented. Like, just super good music. They all have like a 60s sort of throwback vibe to them.
Yeah.
Like, Neutral Milk Hotel kind of has its own thing, but a lot of other bands within their collective kind of have like a sort of you can tell that they're heavily influenced by the Beatles and stuff like that, which is
Definitely.
like, I dig that.
I kind of came upon them at the same time that I started listening to Tame Impala.
Oh, for
and
sure,
that was
for
definitely had a huge fucking Beatles vibe.
sure. Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah,
They're
I
in like the
definitely know
same
what you mean.
collective, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah, it's something like that. They're associated with each other somehow,
Mhm.
for sure.
The first musical project I got into as a kid was probably Sabbath or Metallica.
Yep.
And then my stepdad's nephew, Nicholas, got me into OTEP. And
Oh.
have you guys heard of OTEP?
I know OTEP, yeah.
They're a
sure.
female-fronted death metal band that fucking kick ass. And I heard this shit, and it sounded so evil to me that I was like, what what the fuck is this?
For
What the
sure,
Right.
yeah.
fuck? Like, and so I started digging into like metal and shit like that because I'd heard Sabbath and Metallica, but when you hear a band like OTEP,
Oh, no,
it's
no,
like,
no,
what
for
the
sure.
fuck?
I get
Like,
it.
Right?
I had never heard anything like because they don't play that shit on the radio.
No.
It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, definitely OTEP got me into some heavier shit. Garrett asks, dicks for fingers or knives for fingers?
Wait.
Okay.
No. Hold on a second. Can you repeat that to me, please?
Dicks for fingers or knives for
like,
fingers?
would you rather have?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I guess dicks for fingers because at least then you could like wear gloves or something and like hide them.
Yeah.
Like you could at least you have some hope of having like a normal.
I go with dicks
Okay,
for
but
a
fingers.
normal,
Hold on.
manageable
I go with dicks
life.
for fingers.
You have a chance of at least trying to live like a normal person. But I feel
You
like
just have to perpetually
like,
wear mittens.
I feel like knives for fingers would be like that scene in Edward Scissorhands where he pops the waterbed and there's like
Yeah.
water flying everywhere. Like
how
that,
you gonna masturbate?
that would be your
how
whole
you gonna
life.
wipe your ass?
That would be your whole life.
You know? That kind of swayed me.
Because
If
a
I- 'cause
dick
if I had
against
to
your
choose-
dick feels
I
good,
don't
but
wanna-
knives against your dick,
That's
like, no.
I don't want to have dicks for fingers.
That would
if
kinda
if that's
suck.
my only other option other than having knives for fingers.
My question is, are they perpetually like horny, or are they all
Yeah.
like flaccid?
I don't-
like,
do they get erect?
Dicks flopping around.
Do they
on
get
your
erect?
hand?
Do they piss when you
Oh,
piss? Do
Boy,
they like
this question.
like how
This
how
fucking-
would this function?
Do you
Like,
have bladders in your
question.
hands that actually produce the fucking?
are they just
What the
always
fuck?
are they flaccid? Like do they just hang when you're not doing anything?
Yeah,
with
how
them?
would you
Like,
manipulate anything?
I mean,
It's impossible.
I know
But I can't do knives. I
I'd
can't
have
do
to go
knives
with dicks for fingers, definitely. Like,
Can I just have a big sword for an arm?
That'd be pretty fucking sick. Just one of them.
Yeah.
The other hand is like a punching arm, but the other one's like a fucking
Yeah,
sword.
yeah,
Just
yeah.
a
I got
blade.
one big buff arm.
attached
And
at
then
the
just-
attached at the shoulder. Just
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a
No,
peg
it's-
leg.
It works.
Let's see what the next one is here. That was a great question, Garrett.
What a
no,
question,
that was a
Garrett.
really good one.
Good job, Garrett. You did it.
Thanks, Garrett.
Michael James asks, "Your mom or that's what she said?"
Phrasing. Do you know? You ever? I don't know. I prefer instead of either one of those, just saying phrasing like phrasing. You know what I mean? I don't know if
What?
that makes sense. Have you watched Archer?
No, I have not.
It's an Archer reference.
Whenever they
Phrasing?
whenever they
Fine.
say something
I
that
tried
sounds
to-
sexual,
yeah,
one
instead
of
of
them
saying-
goes phrasing like oh your phrasing sounded sexual like
Oh, I
Yeah,
know.
Yeah, I wish
whatever.
I could have explained that better. It's Archer.
It's like,
yeah.
what?
I guess between the two of them, if I had to choose between your mom and that's what she said, probably that's what she said because like dude,
Don't talk about my mom.
Yeah, don't talk about people's moms. I've been in too many situations where like when I was younger, I'd be like, "Your mom," and then the person's like, "My mom's dead," and it's like,
Or yeah,
Oh.
like, my mom left when I was 2.
"I'm
like,
so sorry." It's like I'd rather just avoid that situation altogether. Yeah, I'll go with that's what she
Can
said.
I just say, like, for the
Definitely.
record, I hate both.
Yeah,
yeah,
no,
they're
I,
both pretty
just, like,
annoying. They're
I,
both pretty
I
fucking
never
annoying.
say either of them, but like you
I
know,
definitely say that's what she said way too fucking
Okay,
much.
okay, no.
So
I mean,
I'll-
I try
no
to
biggie.
pull one that barely
No,
works.
for real, man. Like, no biggie. It's like it's just like both of them. I'm just like
and that's the thing. We were because when Miles and Max showed up today, I was watching The Office, and that show got me saying that shit all the fucking time.
Okay, for sure.
So now it's in the death throes of it, where I say it every once in a while, but I definitely say it too much.
Like I was like at work doing some shit the other day, and like I thought of something like somebody said, and I the first thing that came to my head was like, "That's what he said," and I'm like, I'm really glad no one heard that. I'm really
I'm glad
glad.
I didn't subject anybody to that.
Yeah, I'm really glad
Yeah.
no one heard me say that. Like I don't.
Yeah, I can do without your mom. I can
Yeah.
do without
yeah,
it.
same. That's the worst one easily, but also I don't know.
Alex from Thomas Jefferson Airplane asks, any
Hey.
plans for a new full length? I think we
Yo,
kinda
what
got
up,
that
Listen
Alex?
to the podcast.
Yeah, we got
Yeah, for
that
real.
answered.
Also, Alex, TJA, awesome. Y'all rule.
Yeah, TJ rocks. I'm actually gonna have one of their songs on too pretty soon.
If I'm gonna
They're
be
a really
honest,
great band.
if I'm gonna be hella honest here, they're probably my favorite local band.
Really?
Yeah.
TJ?
One of mine as well. Yeah.
Like I'll always watch.
hey, Alex, I have a
Thomas
question
Jefferson.
for you. Any plans for your guys' full length? Hit me
well,
up.
dude, Atomic Bomb Salesman or whatever Atomic Bomb
Love
Shelter
it.
Salesman.
I
It was
love
kind
it.
of a full length, right?
Somewhat,
A little
yeah.
bit, yeah.
I know that they recorded every single song, wrote and record every. Okay, let me start over. I think they wrote and recorded every single song on that thing in like one day.
No
which
fucking
is, which
way.
is whack.
It was a
yeah.
challenge, I believe. I believe it was some kind of challenge where like artists get to or like they get together and like do that sort of thing. I could never do that.
Yeah, it's whack.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that at all. But that's very crazy that they would be able to do that.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
a fucking massive amount of handiwork that has to go
Favorite
into
track
that.
For sure.
Favorite track, Radiant. I love that song.
I dig that song.
If
Radiant's
you
good.
if
Radiant's
anyone
really,
listening
really good.
ever listens to TJA, Atom Bomb Shelter Salesman, Radiant is a banger. I love
They're
it.
on Spotify. Please just
Are they
listen.
really?
They're
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
on. Sick.
They're in my playlist definitely.
And also every
Nuclear
Atlas is
Family,
awesome, too.
honestly, is a great fucking song.
Dude, they're
That
all
song
so
is-
good. I
yeah.
can't believe it. Like one day.
Bitchin' Nightmare is my favorite.
Definitely.
Off of the first Nailbiter EP. It's really good.
You
rule,
I haven't listened
thanks
to
for
that.
the question.
I have to dive into the Nailbiter EP. I haven't listened to it yet.
It's good.
It's great. It's really
It's
good.
real good.
Any plans for a Pine and Palm full length? Hell to the yes. We're just kind of finishing this one up, so yeah, well, you'll see.
I'll tell you right here, dude. I'm super excited.
Super,
for it.
real, super,
Thanks,
super
dude.
excited.
I
for the
appreciate it.
new
We put a
stuff,
lot
yeah.
of fucking work into
Like
this thing,
the first EP is like super solid to me. Like I think it's great. It's in my Spotify playlist.
Hell yeah, fuck yeah.
I added it to mine. too.
Never
It's really
skipped.
Hell yeah.
Never skipped a song.
I think people are gonna dig this one a lot more. Honestly, if you guys dig the first one, this one is gonna be a lot darker, and it has, to me, just better constructed songs on it.
The last time I saw you guys live, the new songs were really
yeah.
awesome.
Right on.
We very much
Yeah.
look forward to it.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Hell yeah. The full length, we'll try to keep you guys informed, but as of right now, we're kind of writing it. You know, we'll see. So this is for you guys. How does Paper Space make their music? What do they start with? Who usually leads? What kind of inspiration do they have when they start writing?
Ooh boy.
Ooh.
Dang, that's a
That's a
loaded
good.
question.
That's a real good. Yeah, it's a good question. We'll give you. We can try to give like a short answer.
Okay, I guess I'll try to sum it up.
Go
I
ahead,
guess.
because you're the big song boy.
Song boy.
I write the songs most of the time on an acoustic guitar in my bedroom, and I'll bring it to Miles and Kurt, and we'll just jam it out and figure it out and stuff like that. And eventually it gets to the point where we're like, hey, we have a pretty good grouping, and then we'll try to hunker down and record and stuff. And more, the first two EPs we had an E-kit where like Kurt would, it was Kurt playing the drums, but it was an electronic drum kit. We would just record in Kurt's bedroom pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
As far as inspiration goes, I like to just kind of let everybody's inspiration
Let it
like
flow.
flow into this
We
project.
kind of already talked about it.
I
Like
know-
Max
I-
writes
you
the
like-
songs. We kind of just do whatever the fuck we want.
I never.
to.
There's never a time where like the three of us are all listening to the same thing and we're like, "This is what we're gonna try to do." I just always
Yeah.
try to like, because the band's not me. It's not me. It's
Yeah.
like this. Like
you,
they're my
you lay down the bones, but the
Yeah.
song constructs itself.
like they're
you know?
they're my songs or whatever. But they would not be anywhere near where they are if it wasn't for Miles and Kurt. So we just kind of wing it most of the time. That's
kind of comes.
That's pretty
That's
much
how it goes,
how we do it.
typically.
We record like garbage and it sounds okay. So that's that's okay.
That's all we can ask for.
Yep. Yep.
Here's another one for you guys. What are Paper Space influenced by that makes them play music, and what are their favorite bands? We kind of talked about that.
I have a couple I didn't
But-
really talk about. Like,
Okay, yeah.
There's Neutral Milk Hotel, of course, and the Mountain Goats. Like, those are my two faves. But Sea Cats is
Oh,
one
yeah,
of the
Sea
main
Cats.
bands that made me like really want to actually start playing. They're a group of dudes from Kelso, Washington.
Okay.
They were together for a little while and then kind of just dropped off the face of the earth. Like, it's funny because it's two siblings like us.
Mm-hmm.
One's like 3 years younger than the other one, which is like
Same deal.
Same
Yeah,
deal.
for real.
And like they're both still making music, but it's not really Sea Cats anymore. Like they get together to play shows and stuff like that. But they have a full length on their Bandcamp, seacats.bandcamp.com. Masterpiece. I love
How
it.
did you guys find out about them?
How did
Okay.
Yeah, because Max
Have you
Max showed them
seen-
to me.
Do you
so.
know who On Your Computer is?
No.
Have you seen
Oh,
that video?
that's how.
There's a video he made called "It's That Time," and he's running through his house the minute that it turned 4:20, and he's like, "Oh, you're never gonna believe what time it is, man! It's 4:20!" And like he runs downstairs and he goes up to his mom, and he's like, "Mom, it's 4:20!" and just starts screaming, and his mom's like, "Okay," but he made a video promoting them, and I thought it was a joke. Because when I listened to what he was promoting, I was like, man, this doesn't sound very good. But I found out what he was promoting was just like a compilation of like little shit they recorded and just
Like
threw out there.
B-sides and skits and funny
And
stuff.
when I actually went to their Bandcamp, I found their full-length album. And they have other stuff on there too, which is pretty good. But their full-length self-titled album is a fucking masterpiece. Like, that was like the first album I had like really listened to all the way through, and I'm like, I want this. I want to do this. Like,
is it sea like ocean or
ocean? Yeah,
sea
like
cat? Okay.
like, and it's all one word. Sea Cats. They're the shit. I love them. Even though they don't really do anything anymore, I'd still recommend checking them out.
Fuck
Just
yeah.
don't get hyped about any sort of new music happening.
Yeah.
Did this get
What do you?
stopped?
If I get no, it's
Okay.
it's still going. It's just moving hella slow.
For
but
sure.
do you? If I can extrapolate on this question really quick, what are you guys influenced by, like, kind of outside of music? What do you guys dig that contributes to the way you want to sound? Does that make any sense? Like,
Yeah, it
maybe
does.
movies.
As far as outside of music is like my one true love. I don't really do a whole lot that doesn't involve music. I'm like constantly listening to music. I don't really watch stuff. I want to read more, but it's hard to find time.
Yeah.
Like,
especially when you got this fucking thing that's
for sure.
It's got your whole world on it.
Outside of music, like, I'd say just... Do you just mean as far as the sound for
maybe
paper
like
space,
aesthetics or like, you know, is there anything that that influences you to make a certain style of art, kind of?
I kind of, a lot of the media that I consume kind of influences it. Like,
Oh, well, yeah, you
like,
have a song
video-
about Skyrim.
like
so.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
I wrote a
Right,
song.
yeah,
I wrote a song more recently about Steven Universe. Have you watched that show?
A little bit.
Okay,
yeah.
well, I fucking love it. It's made me appreciate wholesome things again.
It's cute as fuck.
Uh,
It's a very cute show.
But I wrote a song about that more recently, and like, I don't know. I feel like as far as sound goes, I just kind of like go with whatever comes out. Like,
Yeah.
I've never really. God, it's gonna sound really pretentious, but like, I've never tried to like make myself like sound like anything. I guess it's always just kind of been like whatever comes out, that's what comes out.
Yeah, and I think like a lot of times it changes from time to time.
Yeah.
What you're listening to at
Yeah.
that point, what's going on in your life,
Like,
you know, shit like that.
I've been listening to a lot of Mac DeMarco lately, and that dude is fucking cool. Like,
He's fucking slunky, dude.
all of his
He's slunky.
all of his music is
Slunky.
like it's like that,
super
but
slunk.
it's super chill too. It's like I dig his music a lot and stuff like that.
I
but-
tell you what, man.
Oh,
I
big
probably,
influence. Weed.
Definitely.
There we go. That's
Weed.
it.
Psychedelics.
I'm
yeah.
like sitting here thinking, like, what else Oh, yeah, weed. That's it.
Honestly, man, if I had never found Mac DeMarco, I probably wouldn't be in an indie band right now, because he took the indie sound and like just threw a little bit of wackiness into it and a little bit of goofiness, and I was like, you know, at the time I was listening to mostly like metal and punk and shit, and I was like, oh, this makes sense. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
the
Sure.
guitar work was complicated enough that I was like, oh, I see what he's doing there. But the effects that he puts on his guitar and the songs themselves
Yeah.
are constructed in more of like a, you know, not jazzy, but like just a softer way.
Have you
know.
listened to his newest album, This Old Dog?
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. I'm not a huge fan of it.
I like it because of the subject matter mostly.
Yeah.
Like,
My Old Man is a fucking sad song.
dude,
It's
holy
very sad.
fuck! Like, and then the last song too. I think it's called "Watching Him Fade Away." That's a it hurts. Like, that album's
Yeah.
painful. It's
Because
like,
he's a goofy
damn,
dude, but you can tell he's been through some shit.
Yeah.
You know
He's
what I'm
got some
saying?
hurt in his heart, yeah.
Salad Days will forever be one of
Oh,
my
I love Salad Days.
favorite albums of all time.
Yeah, that's a great album. I love that album.
What do people say you sound like, and what do you think you guys sound like?
No.
So, that's a hard question. Because,
I've heard-
again, it's like, we don't really strive to be any sort of style, and so it's
Do you guys
like,
get, like, after shows, people saying, like, oh, you remind me of...
So, do you know Tony Homsey, right? Like,
Yeah,
okay, so he
from
told us
Kai
that
and
we
shit.
sounded,
Or no, not Kai. That's fucking the guy who runs
Blackwater. Yeah. He,
Josh Homme. Fuck.
he told us once that we sounded like the Pixies.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I don't really listen to a lot of Pixies, but I
showed-
heard that.
I could see it. I mean, kind of.
I
Yeah.
showed one of my coworkers my band one time, and he said that we sound like the Beach Boys. And I'm like,
fuck?
where do you? I don't know where you get that from, but like, what was the other half to that question? Was there?
What do you guys tried or what? Hold on, let me get to it here. What do you guys think you sound like?
Oh man, I don't know.
When
honestly.
I listen to you guys,
we
I
get
hear-
Weezer a lot.
I can see that.
But
Yeah,
I don't-
The bass tone, especially, I can see
Okay.
where we'd get some Weezer vibes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I feel like we kind of like Weezer too. Honestly,
Sure.
I definitely pick up on a lot of the Mountain Goats influence when I listen to you guys.
Cool.
That's
That
cool.
makes me
That's
really
cool.
happy
Yeah,
because
and-
that's a big one.
But
Peter,
what I think
Peter
is-
Hughes, the Mountain Goats bass player, Peter Hughes is like my favorite bass player, and I
Tight.
literally try to just rip him off as much as
Definitely. I think what's cool about you guys, though, is that, like you've said, you don't really try to sound like anyone, and it shows. You guys don't sound like a lot of bands, you know? There's the convergence of all the shit that you guys like comes across in a way that's, especially in the local scene, is pretty fucking original.
Damn.
So I think that's what's cool about you guys. You
That's
don't have to
well,
sound like
thanks,
anyone.
Well, that's a
Shit.
big compliment. Thank you.
So,
Thank you very
but
much.
yeah. I could kind of see the Pixies, I guess, maybe a little bit.
guess so.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, your fat ass water's gone.
Yeah, I drank it all.
my
Fuck yeah.
tiny water is still alive.
Hey.
He also asks when is the next EP coming out, but we've covered that.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah.
good on that.
It's gonna be a full
Oh well,
length.
I guess we didn't discuss like. Well, it's it's still in preparation. There's really no plans to release anything yet. We're still.
Have
we're
you guys
getting,
thought
we're
about
getting
maybe
there.
releasing something before the full length, or is that?
Yeah.
I've had the idea forever to like just do a super shitty lo-fi like acoustic EP where it's just like all the songs but acoustic renditions of them.
That'd
and
be
just
cool.
Record them on a cassette player or something.
That'd be
But
pretty
like,
Um,
if
but
not,
I don't know.
if not, like probably some singles and stuff. I don't know. Talk to us in a
Before
year.
the album, talk to us in like a
Talk
year
to us
and a
once we
half,
plan
and
more.
then- I mean, I'm sure before the album comes out, there will be singles and stuff.
Definitely.
We just
Yeah,
haven't decided.
yeah, there will
what
be
yet.
hype, don't
There will
worry.
be hype. There will be
Fuck
hype.
yeah.
Possibly, maybe.
What do you guys do outside of Paper Space?
Go to work.
Yeah, same. Work,
Shoot.
smoke weed.
Hang out with people or
Yeah,
with
yeah.
partners?
Yep, that's
Yeah, that's it.
That's our
pretty
lives.
much. Chill
Fuck
with.
yeah.
I
chill
don't
with
do a
the
whole
friends.
lot. We're pretty boring. Well, I don't know. I don't want to speak for Max and call Max boring. But,
Nah, dude, I go to work, I go home, and I'll play some video games, hang out with the girlfriend, occasionally go crack a cold one with the boys. I know that meme's dead,
Memes
but
from hell long ago.
I know that meme's dead, but I can't think of a better way to
No,
describe.
yeah, there's. You guys have seen Totally Out of Place. The song we always open with is called "The Most Boring Man on the Planet" because while musicians seem to lead a very interesting life, I think we all kind of are a little bit
yeah.
solitary.
Dude,
Yeah.
we're all regular as fuck.
my
like,
my days recently have just been working and like when I'm not doing Paper Space stuff, just working, and then I come home and either just listen to music for the rest of the time I'm home and do chores and stuff.
Try to not
and-
think about the fact that you're alive.
Yeah, pretty much. And, I've been watching Lost too lately.
Yeah.
Like,
We talked about that
a
before the
little bit, but
podcast.
I hadn't seen it before, and it's my first time watching it all the
Yeah.
way through, and I'm like,
I'm sure that's kind of a time suck for
oh,
sure.
it is. I mean, but I've been watching it. Like, it's pretty long, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know it was so long. But I've been watching it since like February, and I'm
wouldn't
only just
think-
now finishing it.
You wouldn't think that like the subject matter of the show would be conducive to such a
No,
long
but,
fucking
but
show.
the thing is about it, it's not about people crashing on an island and being castaways. There's so much more to it that I don't think that they realized at the beginning that they were going to get into it. Because
Yeah.
there's no way they could
yeah,
have.
they couldn't have known.
They couldn't have known because there was like from 2004 into 2010, and it's like that. It was a long running show, and there's no way they could have known, especially for the subject matter, it being like kind of a sci-fi kind of thing. There's no way they could have known what was going to happen
Right.
at the end.
Something I do, I guess, outside of Paper Space, I've gotten really addicted to watching these. They're like primitive survival videos. I don't know how I've gotten into them, but
the guy on YouTube, the
Survivalist
fucking
stuff.
primitive technology.
Yeah,
okay,
I love that dude.
It's like there's that dude, and then there's another guy. His name's like Joe Robinet Bushcraft or something. But these dudes go out into the wilderness and pretty much just live like cavemen.
Wow.
And like
It's very interesting.
some of the
Very
shit they
interesting.
do is like I would never have thought of that. I would die out there.
My
Like
question, whenever I watch Primitive Tech, I'm like, because he works with mud a lot,
yeah,
but he's
yeah.
also the only person out there filming. So I'm like, do you like go wash your hands before you fuck with the cameras? What, is there just mud all
think
over
about
your
that too.
cameras?
He probably
Like, what
has
the
like
fuck's
a-
going on?
he probably
Think
has
about
some
that.
kind of like bag around his
Yeah.
camera or something. Like I don't
Yeah,
know.
Primitive Tech is badass.
Yeah, he's fucking crazy. And like, if you turn on caps when you watch his videos, there's like little like narrations of what he's doing.
Oh,
Like,
really?
yeah. It's really interesting stuff. I've been addicted to watching all of those. There's like other people who do it too. Like there's these two brothers. I believe they're Filipino, I believe, and they go out and pretty much do the same thing. But it's cool because they work together and stuff like that. Yeah, that sounds really boring now that I explained it.
You play Tetris a lot.
Oh, I love Tetris.
Fuck, dude.
You
Oh!
you
I'm sorry,
you
I'm
beat
sorry.
Your best time.
I got
Well,
drunk.
I'll let you say.
I got drunk the other day, and Kurt and Ben came over, and I was like, I'm gonna play some Tetris. So I started going, and I have this thing where I start the marathon mode, and I've cleared the marathon mode like a shit ton of times.
Really?
Like there's like 15 levels, and by the time you get to 15, it's just like they're just slapping down.
Yeah.
So I had a best time of clearing all 15 levels in like 10 minutes.
It was like 9
10
minutes,
10
45
10 minutes
seconds,
on the
something like
nose.
that.
Somehow, I got inebriated. I got drunk. Like, I was pretty drunk. And I somehow managed to beat my time by like 10 seconds.
Fuck yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck? But it didn't really matter because, like, the next day I beat it completely sober. Like, I beat that time completely sober. So
Yeah,
I was
dude,
like,
I love video games. I'm a huge video game nerd, and people are really surprised when they ask me what my favorite video game is because I always say Tetris.
Dude,
because
I love
that's,
it.
Fun.
It's simple. It's
real
fucking
fun.
easy.
And you know what else?
Anybody can play it.
You know what else, though? It's timeless. Like, you could play Tetris 1,000 years from now and it'd still be a really
It'd
good
still be a fun
experience.
game. Yeah, yeah.
How did it feel to be live birth twice? And that's to you, Max.
Is that Dan?
Yep.
Okay,
Hi, Dan.
I don't know what he means by it. What the fuck is that
Okay,
mean?
Well,
Oh, okay,
no,
no,
I don't
I'll-
want to explain. I don't think we should explain that.
you don't think we should explain that?
I think you should go. I think you should kind of explain it, and I don't
okay,
think you should.
I'll
give
answer
a lot
answer
of
the
details.
question first.
It's just answer the question. I think.
Yeah, coming out a second time was the most refreshing experience I could ever hope for. It was a lot easier because I cut myself out this time.
What the fuck?
And it's also like, tearing through a bottle of lotion in maybe a half hour because my skin felt so baby smooth. I couldn't believe it, man. It's such. I would recommend being birthed twice. It's
Also,
an experience.
Ladies
Also-
and gentlemen, Max
also
is
Caleb
high as
gave-
fuck right now. Max just smoked some crack during the break, and he's high as fuck.
Woo! Woo!
Also, Caleb gave birth to you the second time.
Yeah, my friend Caleb is my new mom, my second mom.
I
My
see.
my regular mom, she's around, but Caleb's my second mom now.
Beautiful. Caleb's in fucking Killer Whale, isn't he?
No,
No,
That's
no.
a different Caleb.
Ah,
I think. No, it's our friend Caleb from the Ferd.
Gotcha.
To answer that question for real, Max, we had a birthday party for Max, and he got birthed again.
He got
Dude,
second birth.
I'll have
He
to
got-
show you. I'll have to show
There's
you.
a
Yes,
thing.
please.
There's
It's
a
hard.
You'll see.
It's hard to explain.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain.
To you, Miles, how did you learn to rock so hard?
Damn.
And I actually want to know the answer to this too.
Really?
because, fuck.
Okay. Well, first bass player I ever like loved, of course, was Cliff Burton from Metallica, from like the
100%.
early days of Metallica, and I think I get a lot of my I don't know. I wouldn't say I get a lot of my stage presence from Cliff Burton, but I think that
you are fucking the second coming of him, dude. I swear to God.
Cool. Well, that makes me happy to hear. I don't know. I watched him play a lot, videos on YouTube and stuff growing up.
Such a
and
talented motherfucker.
So good, and I think that's kind of it. It's kind of drilled in my brain. But then I also just I don't know. On stage, I'm I actually have like stage fright kind of pretty bad, and so like if I'm just like running around on stage and being
Makes it
stupid,
easier.
I just kind of and if I'm just like a stupid motherfucker on stage, play this stupid character, then like it kind of helps me.
No,
get
I
through it a
definitely know
little
what
bit.
you mean. If I'm fucking shit up on stage, it definitely detracts from the fact that I'm sweating profusely.
Oh yeah,
fucking
yeah.
up
I mean,
constantly.
it's like when I sweat at shows, it's not because I'm hot. It's because I'm scared.
Mine is always a combination because on stage 9 times out of 10 I'm fucking boiling hot.
Oh yeah.
And it might just be from all the eyes on you or something.
That's
but
gotta be what it is, because like I'm right there. Like every time I get on stage, I'm like, damn, it got hot in here. Like it's like the
and it starts like 15 minutes before you play.
yeah.
All of a sudden it gets really fucking
It's like all the
hot.
blood rushes to your face, and you're like, oh shit, like I'm fucking hot. It's bad.
The show. Cliff Burton, the second coming of Cliff Burton is actually how Miles Ishmael has begun to rock so fucking hard.
Aw.
Hell yeah.
That makes me. It was a strange ride, but I'm finally back as Miles Ishmael.
Ishmael.
It's me, Cliff Birdie.
Cheyenne asks, when you gonna start slapping bass for Pine and Palm?
Whenever.
Whenever. That's a good answer. Yeah, we've been talking about getting you on for bass because let me just tell you, dude, playing without a bassist fucking sucks.
I bet.
It's fucking awful.
I bet it's.
When we go up
I
on
bet.
stage and the guitars sound tinny as fuck, I'm just like, it makes me not want to play shows. You know what I'm saying?
I get
Like,
it. Yeah.
It's like we're missing a whole chunk of the sound.
I understand.
You know?
Well, just whenever. As you know from tonight, I'm boring as fuck. I don't
We'll
need shit. So just hit me up.
We'll talk about it off air. We
We'll
can find a
figure-
time.
we'll figure it out, yeah.
But yeah. Derek asks, when you gonna pick the brains of them boys in Alaska? That's coming up soon, Derek. Y'all motherfuckers, I think, are gonna be here next Monday after Cheap
Hey.
Shoes. I'm gonna do an interview with Cheap Shoes, and then the Monday
Sweet.
after do an interview with Alaska.
Hell yeah,
Because I just gotta get them boys some love, you know.
definitely. Alaska's awesome.
Fuck yeah.
Evil music.
Um,
Cheap Shoes too. Same thing. Evil music.
for real, dark as fuck.
Yep.
If you could live in any fictional world, which would it be?
DBZ.
Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Damn, that's a tough one, actually. I'd say the Marvel Universe, because it would never be boring. Like, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
My town would probably be destroyed 24/7, but I get to watch some cool shit unfold.
That's the thing is, like, can I die in this fictional world, or do I
Right.
get to, like...
Like, I don't even care if I'm not a superhero. Like, if I get to watch sick-ass battles, I don't have to pay money for them, dude, fuck yeah.
If I lived in any fictional world, it would definitely be Gilmore Girls, because that town is just cute as fuck. Everyone's so nice, you know, I can go to Luke's Diner whenever I want. It'd just be badass. Kurt asks, can you give me your drummer's number? He's just so cute.
Hold on. I got it. Hold on 1 second.
Let's do this on the podcast, because I want Kurt to receive like 1,000 texts. Just love mail from the fans.
I got it. Hold on.
This is terrible. This is a
This
terrible
is sick.
idea.
His number is actually 666.
Oh, I don't
You guys
actually.
wanna-
I don't have his new number.
Oh, fuck.
I was gonna say, this is a terrible idea.
I'm also not
That'd
gonna
be
give,
hilarious,
I'm also
though.
not. I'm also not gonna give out his number on air.
But yeah, 666. Just type that in.
Yeah,
and,
just type that into your phone. It'll
yeah.
get directly to Kurt. It's his extension.
But he is cute. He's a very cute
Kurt is a very cute boy.
person.
Sure.
And that's all the question, guys. So, thank you so fucking much for coming out and being
Yo,
able to
for
to
real,
do this.
Hell yeah,
thank you
dude.
for having us. It's an honor.
It was
honestly.
One more time,
Very
their
cool.
Bandcamp is paperspace.bandcamp.com. Check out Fireboy on Spotify. It's on Spotify now. It's on YouTube too. Right?
Yeah, we have our first EP's in like a full stream on YouTube. I
sure.
haven't done that with the second EP yet. I've been meaning to get to
For
it.
sure.
Also,
It's been out almost a year.
if
so.
you want to see us from like 2 years ago, we have a few videos on our
Oh
YouTube
yeah,
channel.
don't plug that.
Don't watch this.
don't look at our YouTube.
Paper Space, the series, there's only one season.
No fucking way. This exists?
I was just joking.
We're
There's
calling,
no
Oh,
seasons,
God
we're
but-
calling attention to it.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, we have a YouTube channel that we haven't done anything with, but it's there if you want to look.
Yeah,
at
no, I've
some-
honestly with the...
There's videos of when we were recording. I'm glad. So
Hell yeah.
that's how old that is.
And yeah, the first EP, I'm Glad, is on Bandcamp. So definitely check it out, bitches. And thank you so much for listening to the Pine Box. Suck my dick.
Bye.
Bye.